Well, I was contacted by one of my friends that was on Facebook some time ago, a few weeks ago, and I don't know how we got on the conversation, but we got on the conversation about the father and son team that was in the Green Swamp that was on the BFRO reports, and I had mentioned to him that I had wanted to always meet this guy. For the longest time, for years, I've always wanted to meet the father son, um, the people in that report. And he said, "Well, he said, I know him, you know." And I said, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! You know this guy? I've been trying to want to talk to him for years." And so he said, "Sure, I know him." He said, "Let me get in contact with him, and I'll see if I can give you his number." A few days later, I think it was on that weekend, I gave Tommy a call, and right away, man, he just talked like he had knew me for years, and we spoke for like an hour and a half on the phone. So he wanted to, I was interested in seeing the area and deciding, listening to his account, and so he said, "Sure, I'll have no problem taking you out there." So we agreed to meet in the Green Swamp. We had a time and everything, but I felt like I wanted to include someone else to come along with us, and so I asked him, and if his wife was interested in going, why not? And so they said, "Sure, they'd be happy to come along." So, we had it all arranged, and we was going to meet Tom out there. He always told me, "You can call me Tom or Tommy." I call him Tommy. Sometimes I call him Tom. So it's kind of one of these strange things. And he pulls out of his truck. He pulls out of his truck. I'm just going to call them like crutches. And I'm just standing there. I'm not saying anything. I'm just standing there looking at him. And mind you, this is hot. This is in the morning and we're hot. And he pulls out these crutches that you can attach, have them on your arms and everything. And I just looked at him. I was like, wow, he's going to be taking us out there using crutches. And so that made me go back and think of a few things. What it made me think of is it brought me back to the beginnings of the Trail to Bigfoot channel. And it brought me back to that as far as the reasons why I started it and the reasons why, it is a channel today. And one of the predominant reasons that I did was I wanted to be able to show people the hard work that's involved in the explorers and the researchers and what all is involved in doing this. I knew it was very arduous, very difficult work to do. And when I saw this man come out and he was going to just go take us out there wearing these armed crutches, I was very inspired. So as we take you out on this journey, and we're going to be able to show you, and you'll be able to hear and listen and see the area around to where Tommy had his account, his experience. It's very interesting to listen to and observe. We actually got him to take us to the second area as well, and I've always wanted to be able to see this location. And he said, "Sure, just go ahead and film the location. You'll be able to see exactly where on the power lines this one father-son sighting was located at also." I think it's something that I just always wanted to know. So now you will know as well. And in conclusion, I really hope that you will enjoy the video, and thank you very much.
Tommy saw him first. When he saw the footprints, he stopped and he was like, "Oh my God, they're still here." And you could tell in his voice when he said that.
The head, when he said how big the head was, I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
They went back in to look for it and they found blood trail way up high. They were finding blood trail way up high on the reeds and sawgrass. It was taller than what any animal couldn't have picked it up like that and carried it away.
And he stayed out there all day long, and he walked through all that water and mud and everything without missing a beat. I mean, I was impressed with that.
Yeah, and with the hut, the way he was describing it, it was all like pulled down, all live branches pulled down. So they were still growing, they were still alive and still growing. So it would have stayed there and been there a very long time. So they could have kept using it over and over and had camouflage and cover.
It kept me from falling over cypress.
Okay, so we're out here with Tim and Wynette, and we're going to be going out here to the witnesses here, and he's going to take us out here and show us and explain to us what happened to him. And so we're just heading out right now. Okay. Gotta love the green swamp.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't carrying a pig when it crossed.
Yeah.
So that's why it could have been a different one.
Yeah.
And that was in the daytime?
5:30,
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
5:30 evening. Here's where I turned around yesterday.
Oh yeah, it does get a little more soupier.
Yeah.
It's almost like water.
So there used to be here in the pig track, like Grand Central here. There used to be one that hung out here. He wasn't real big, but by now he might be. Gators is what you got to watch out for here.
Yeah, they're, you know, that's the rule in Florida. If there's natural water, it's subject for a gator.
Okay, come here.
And they'll get you.
Come here. Holy cow. You guys are underwater. Don't step there, or there.
They're on the ground, right?
That.
I can't see what you're looking at. What is it?
Let him get it.
What is it? Oh, steps.
Another one there.
Okay. Yeah, I see your point. Okay, but hold on a minute. Yeah, I see that right there. Do you got a moment I can pull out my tape?
Yeah.
I want to check the stride.
Yeah.
We
The
got
step,
plenty
the
of-
step, so I want to check.
Good.
What we're looking for is 48 to 52 inches is what we want to look for.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'll say, so what Tommy had pointed out was, he said, look at this, look at this. So as he came up, and I agree, there is indentations going on right here, straddling the main roadway right here. So we're going to get a tape out, we're just going to measure it real fast, and there's the other one right here, and there's another one right up there as well. So before I measure this, we're looking at 48, 52 inches from heel to heel. Okay, from heel to heel is what we want to look at. There we go. Hang on. There we go. It's filming now.
Okay.
Hang on. We'll do it one more time.
Yeah, let's do it one more time.
Let's go back to that one right back here.
I'll send you my footage too.
Okay, right there we're looking at 48.
Okay, hold on just a minute.
48. 40 inches from the
Okay.
rear.
Okay, go ahead.
You got it?
Yep.
Yep.
That's
From one hill to the
yeah,
next,
and we measured
48
that one.
inches.
We measured the top one, and that's consistent
And that's
with what we
consistent, too.
normally see.
Okay.
Yep, 48 inches. Yep.
And that's the only one it goes, 48, 52.
Mhm.
That's about what we get when we catch them. All right.
Okay.
So let's proceed. You're going to be swimming.
I'm gonna get my boot up against it too. Just for size comparison.
Yeah, because you're looking at from here,
Yeah, from there.
and then it drains
Up
out.
to
So we
around
don't.
there,
But
yeah.
so that might be more of it right here.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, because it seems like it broads out some
Yeah,
more
it
right
does.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're looking at.
And the water distorts it too.
Yeah, the water's going to store it, but generally speaking, you're looking at. Yeah, that's your boy, 18, right here.
Yeah, 18
Because
inches.
we actually got a cut going on right here, an actual cut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
it is. Yeah.
that isn't necessarily water damage. So we're looking at you're looking
Mhm.
at 18 and 19.
Yeah.
So that's consistent.
Yep.
So big boy might have came through here again,
Mm-hmm.
and they seem to bypass.
And to me, this one's looking like a left foot. This one's looking like a right foot. So that one would probably be the next left. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we measured the actual puddle size.
Yeah.
And we caught part of it to where it actually cut into soil.
Yeah.
It wasn't just
Water.
water. It actually cut into what could be a toe part, and we measured it. It was 18, 19. So it's about what. That's about right. Yeah.
That's about right for what
Yeah.
I've
18, 19.
seen out here. Look close in the water as we cross down through here.
And also, I'll note we all have our phones.
I don't even have mine.
We don't have cellular turned on our phones. I'll just make that. I can't remember if I made that comment or not, but we'll see. If I made that comment, then I won't put it in the video. But if I didn't, I will.
Someone's been traveling through here. You got the grass laid down through here.
That looks like one of the same footprints right there.
Yeah. So it looks like they skirt. It looks like they skirt the roadway.
Yeah, like he skirted around.
Yeah.
Just take your time.
Oh yeah, this is an older roadway right here too. It's all underwater.
Someone's been here because the grass is laid down up here.
Yeah, something stepped on the grass there.
And I'm following this trail.
Yeah, I'm following you.
What's blackberry berry?
Oh yeah, they'll
Good.
get it too. I'm having snag me.
Practice needs that you might slip on. Just don't roll your ankles.
My feet feel like they just got in the air conditioning.
Mine too. Little bit, not too bad.
I'm gonna you back to the road. Couple lightly used game trails coming through. Something laid here.
Oh yeah. You see the lilies, so we got more water in this area. Right that way.
Yeah, it gets fairly deep in there.
If there's anything I can say is
Let's see. That trail's grown over there, isn't it?
we can probably maybe shift to the left maybe.
We might be able to get through here.
We might be able to forge a path through the left. It might be higher on this side. Let's see.
There used to be a trail right through here.
Oh yeah, there's something going on right here too.
Okay.
See that right there?
Yep.
Yeah. Something sign right here.
Yeah, this don't look good.
This don't look too bad over here.
Yeah, definitely got to watch for snakes on this trail.
Yeah, because it's very wet.
And there's drives for them to sit up on beside.
Just pushing down the stuff.
Now, the one hut's back over here. But I'm going to take you back here first.
Okay.
To the big incident.
All right. We're past it. Now we will point out, Tommy said that when he had this sighting out here, he had said that this surrounding vegetation that you're all looking at right here was like 8 or 9 feet up. So they have done some controlled burns in this area in the past, and it's knocked it all down, and it's growing back up again. But he had said it was much more dense when his sighting had occurred. So we want to put that out also. We'll say this. See that to your left? Tim, see that to your left?
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Looks like there's an apex going on.
Like a structure way back there.
Yeah.
Little tall.
Looks like an apex going on.
Come over here, you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Right here between you.
Yep. So this isn't just something random. I mean, we have a witness with us out here also. So we just want to film and observe as much stuff as we got going on, try to connect more dots, more pieces. If sign does kind of match previous location areas where, you know, counters were occurred. Okay. Did you see that off you when you left? It was like a apex TP going on.
Oh, that's back where one hut is.
Oh, is that where we're going? Kind of back there?
On our way back.
Mm-hmm.
As we come out, we'll cut through here. That was the big hut. There's another one back over here. When we were young, me and a buddy of mine used to ride motorcycles through the Orange Grove over in Park Ridge. And there was something back there. Listen, I'd say 6.5 foot tall. It was fairly small. We'd see it once in a while. We had some of the older people in the neighborhood say it was a skunk. We had an old Indian mound back there. We'd go find arrowheads and pottery at, and it hung around that. And then one day we were headed out there, and there's a bunch of government vehicles back in there. One big box truck with like a cage built on it. They told us we weren't allowed to go back there till they were gone. If we get caught back there, we could go to jail.
Dang, now, isn't
So
that crazy?
government vehicle with a cage box type thing.
I was about 12 years old then.
Yeah.
So
2
they
feet
told
tall.
us jail, that we ain't going.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the way it goes.
And
though.
we never saw it after that.
What city was that near? Or,
Gotha.
okay.
And you'd always smell it before you saw it. It was rancid also. All these out here smell pretty rough.
Well, you answered my question. I was going to say, did you believe in them before that? But obviously.
Well, even though back then we'd see it as we flew by on our bikes, and honestly, that one had the face that looked more like an orangutan. And we figured something got loose from the zoo or something and was just hanging out back there. Coincidence that it was by the old Indian burial, or Indian mound, not burial ground, just the Indian mound. But back then we really didn't think much of it. I mean, we'd go back flying through there to see if we could see it as we flew through. But other than that, we honestly thought it was a ape of some kind.
Well,
But
then after the people came, you didn't see it no more.
and we never really stopped to figure, well, how tall is an orangutan? But as we got a few years past, and we went back there looking for more pottery and arrowheads and stuff like that, we got looking around in the edge, because it was groves, palmettos, the mound, oak trees that come back like a little oak hammock with lots of moss, and it would stay right inside the edge of the moss. And as we flew by, you'd fly by once and you'd see it, come back by and it wouldn't be there. And we were too scared to get off the bikes and look, but but yeah, we thought it was just some kind of escaped ape of some kind. It smells like a skunk, rotten meat, and a pig high on testosterone, like he's chasing a sow. And it just, you'll know. And you hear these cicadas and these other bugs?
Yeah.
They're not around here right this minute.
Yeah, you don't hear them right now.
Well, you hear the cicadas, if you listen, a little bit in the distance.
Yeah.
But if they're around, you won't hear that. They shut up too.
That happened to us one time.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
So you said it came down here?
Huh?
You said it came down here?
Yeah, it started. I was standing here and I was listening. I thought it sounded like a big pig that was eating and just moving once in a while. And I probably stood here an hour listening, being on the ready, hoping the big one would just ease on by, thinking it was a pig at the time. And then come about time when the pack of pigs would come through, and I could hear them moving through. And these weeds here were a little bit taller than what they were now, but they were back off about 3 foot back in off the road. And about as far as, well, not that far, probably about halfway between me and you, it had jumped up, and it had jumped because I could see probably from here up over top of the bushes, and then it landed and stopped in the road. And it did that because when it jumped up and I saw it, my first instinct was run. And I'm scrambling, and I turned, and I didn't even get my foot on the ground facing this way, and it was there in the road. And at that point, I pulled my bow up and started to draw back, and it ducked back in there again.
Huh.
Once I started drawing my bow.
And we said, now this, of course, that was years ago, but we had said, Tim and I looked at this, and we had said that it looks like something bipedal had been in here at one time.
Yeah.
Right here, through this area right here. So that's what it looks like on the rear behind us, but I don't know if the camera's going to give it any justice, but it does look like something right here has punched in, or has punched in at one point in time, because we noticed there was a break right here. See what I'm saying? There was a break right there that we had noticed. And this looks like it's higher, right here in the middle. I'm just making an observation. Of course, it could mean absolutely nothing, but it looks like something bipedal had been in here at some point in time. Does it look like that way to you a little bit?
Yeah.
I mean, it does to me.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does to me too.
Because you can tell it's thicker there, thicker here, thinner through here.
Yeah.
And what's on the back side? Nothing. Nothing's been over here.
No.
Maybe on here on this side, but. So this was your spot.
Yep. That's where I thought I was on the menu.
That's nerve-wracking.
And then it was a big red one, and he was at least this wide, arms bigger than my legs, and very unfriendly. And
So he was probably 15 yards? 15 yards? 20 yards at the most?
he probably started about 8 to 10 yards inside, straight in, and then he got from there to right about here before I had time to spin and get my foot on the ground to try and run.
Right.
And at that point, it was automatically pull the bow back. And I was shaking so bad, I don't know if I'd ever got it back far enough to do anything, but it saw me going through the motions, and it ducked straight back in.
Okay, so he punched out.
Yeah.
He said, I'm out. I'm out of here.
So at that point, I didn't move for a few minutes. I'm get my composure. I'm not one to panic.
Well, you're kind of trapped in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of a one-way in, one-way out. I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
but you're not going to... Hey, Tim, we need you to do an example right here. Run through that and
He
see
was
how,
in
Yeah.
between you and the
see how
wagon.
far you can then run before
I've
you
been in
fall
the woods all
down.
my life. I did ironwork for a living. I've been in places where you can't get out of, and you can't afford to panic. You
Yeah.
have to keep your composure. It's not a choice.
And so this guy was the red one,
This was the big red one.
the big red one. And I think he's kind of maybe nicknamed, I kind of nickname it Big Red.
Yeah,
Because I've heard
That's
of,
what I call
other people have told me this.
that's what I called it, big red.
Do you get an idea how tall?
This one was probably over 8 foot.
You look to me like you're about 6'3".
I'm 6 foot even.
6 foot even?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I think you're, okay.
Yeah,
But you look a little taller than that to me.
Well, with the
Yeah.
boots, 6'1".
Yeah.
So we're
I'm
talking,
just wide.
right, so we're talking 2 feet higher than you.
2 feet taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A minimum taller.
Oh boy.
And a head like that.
Uh-huh.
Damn. That's all I can say. That's huge.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Wait
That's
till you
scary.
come into that situation, you'd be saying more than that.
Yeah, there's no telling what's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen.
That is scary. So Tim and I came down here and we walked down here and we didn't know that's where he jumped or where he had went through, but we both looked at this spot and said, hey, this looks like something in the past has been through this area. Right through here. Strange that that's where old boy decided to bolt.
That's where he came out from. That oak tree right there.
Yeah.
About 8 to 10 yards back in. He went from there to here.
Yeah, and you said it was higher and denser too.
It's
It
about
was
10
higher.
yards.
Yeah.
So where you were standing,
It was more like, a lot of it was like this, but there was a lot of it that was
it was within about 15 yards. of it.
probably a foot taller than what it is right over there. Actually, those bushes right there to your right,
Yeah.
closest to you, they were a hair taller than that and thick.
You say berries.
These blueberry plants right here. Certain parts of the year
Right.
they're full of blueberries. Little wild blueberries.
Mm-hmm. So this is what it looks like back up in here, and so now it's no longer a suspect spot. It's actually, we have walked in here now. So that's what it looks like in here.
Let's see.
I'll picture it being thicker and taller than this.
Can you go back a little more?
Yeah. Let's see.
Now, the day before all that happened,
Yeah, so boy was back up in here then.
so waffle rate.
There's a variety of different type of grasses and things going on back here.
Yeah, there's all sorts of edible stuff here.
Yeah, and you can see evidence of a controlled burn too. There's a tree that's burnt.
Now right here, the day before, I had shot a pig. And standing out there, you could hear it. It laid down right here and bled out.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't this wet back here or grown up. It was fairly clear right here. And there was a log, or not a log, but decent sized stick here then. And all this was sawgrass. And the sawgrass was like this here.
Yeah, really tall.
And I could hear the pig breathing
Uh-huh.
because I had a good lung shot on it, and it was giving the raspy, the death breathe.
Yeah.
And I could hear it take its final breath. And at that point, after about 5 minutes, I knew it wasn't going nowhere. My son had shot one just on the other side. Now this is the day prior to me being on the menu.
A day prior to your encounter, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So there was game in the area.
oh yeah, there's a bunch of game. Now, I knew where this was. I could hear it, I just couldn't see it. Here.
Okay, here I am listening to the story he's telling me about the hog, but he's starting to say that the hog, they didn't ever recover the hog's body, and that there was blood up high on the blood trail. So they didn't ever recover the hog. And this was the day before.
Yes. Now, if we can get through here without too many briars, we're going to cut back this way.
Another break. Way up high. 6 feet easily. Yeah, so the briars will get you. Alright, so this is what it looks like back up in here then. So it's definitely elongated. Whoa, there's something going on here. See it?
Yeah, and that trail goes that way too. Goes both ways. We just crossed that trail.
Yeah. Yep. We're going to end up swimming out here now.
Dang.
So this is just basically an overgrown swamp. It's all
Yeah.
marsh. It's all wet.
This used to be a hut. It's no longer, I guess.
Okay, I'm on high ground over here. So you said it used to be a hut.
Used to be.
And what you mean by a hut is like like a blind or something that could be used like a blind.
Yeah. But at this time, these were bowed over, and it had like a cave in here, and there wasn't no water in here then.
Yeah.
And we followed whatever it was, set it down here for a minute till we started coming back.
You mean the pig?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you could see where it was laying in the blood over there.
Yeah.
Blood, yeah.
It was set down here.
Okay, so we can rule out panthers, we can rule out cats, we can rule out
Yeah,
critters like that, and coyotes because the blood trail was too high.
yeah. Blood trail, eye level and above.
Yeah.
And all this was sawgrass with trails through it. But it was laid, actually, it was laid right here.
All right, so what goes through your mind when you start seeing all that? Because you said this is the day before.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind when you are seeing blood trail that high up in the air? I mean, you're thinking,
I had a pretty good idea.
so you already suspect something already.
Yeah, because the year before is when I almost hit it with a car.
Got it.
So I knew something was back here, but I never thought for a minute that they would come at me or close to me. I always thought they would run at the sight of people.
Yeah.
I just thought that was their nature. I hadn't heard of them being aggressive towards people before that. Well, one boy said one slapped his truck, and the other boy said it was pushing trees down all around him, growling at him, and I heard that. But I didn't see the one that slapped the boy's windshield and left. He told me, get out of the woods quick. That was back on South Grade. Year prior to this,
Yeah.
all this here.
Okay.
So I had an idea, especially when you come back here and where it picked it back up. And went back through here, and it got super thick sawgrass. I put my back against it and tried pushing through to follow the blood.
Yeah.
And I couldn't push through it. It was so thick. And this is when I could still get around. And you hear trees. Thought we saw one of the cypress trees go down. And then heard a few more crashing and breaking further back. But after it hit the swamp, it headed back to the back side. And never slowed down. And it sounded like a giant person running. Bump, 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 bump. Footprints. Not hooves.
Yeah. Yeah. Feet, not hooves. Yeah.
So, but yeah, this was much more intact. I was hoping it was still here. But
Yeah, it's too many years. Too many years has gone by in the swamp. The swamp is
11 years.
ever changing.
11 years of fire. But
He's still around though. There's been a sighting of him, I want to say a year or two ago.
okay.
Yeah, near the Lakuchi area, I believe is where it was reported.
Okay.
So that's on the edge of the green swamp.
Yeah. But
Was this got filled up by the rain?
that was a
Like a hunting blind.
that was a good
You can see some breaks here still.
good well built
These are more recent breaks.
hut. Everything was bent at the time, woven in, tied, not tied, but just kind of woven in, and nothing broke. It was all live to where it would last. And it was that size limbs there that
Yeah.
were bent.
So
and
made out of stuff like you just said, made out of stuff that was still living,
Yeah.
where it would last. That's interesting. 'Cause a lot of people always think it's like leftover debris.
No.
So
No.
it was like fabricated from stuff that's still living.
Used as nature and intended to stay.
Yeah.
Footprint maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. It does look like something's been in there.
Yeah.
Been up in here before.
They're old. Here, here, there.
Yeah, you can see where this has
That
been.
might be us.
No, we didn't come this way.
Come this way.
And there's a pathway right here. But yeah, I see that right there where you're talking about where it's compressed. Right here. Yeah. That's definitely something been going through here. You know, of course animals make pathways.
And it's bipedal. As you can see the steps.
Yeah, the compression marks have a gap.
Yeah.
What you think?
It's interesting.
Yeah, it sure is really
It's really interesting.
And I used to get footprints right here. Where the heck is the big log? There used to be a big log right here. And I'd sit down on it and hold on that tree as I crawled over.
Yeah, well this area
It's gone.
here is more broad.
Yeah.
It's more
but there
broad.
It was like something would come over and it would step over and go this way. But
So we know the animals use roadways.
yeah.
We know the animals use roadways.
Cattle eat
Yeah, and the roadway's just right here. Something could be up in this area. Something could be right here in this area and leap onto the roadway because you're at the roadway right now.
Yeah.
So I'm on wide. I'm on wide right now, so the scale's not really right. But we're looking at 8 feet, maybe 10 feet at the most from
Well,
this
you're further than that.
from this spot and
Well,
jumping
from
over.
that spot, you're at least 12 foot.
12 feet maybe then. But they could make that jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. After seeing
Yeah,
Big
they
Red
could.
jump,
Yeah, they could make that jump just by hunkering down right here
yeah.
in this little clearing and make this jump if hogs or animals go
I'm
by.
thinking about how big you said his head was.
Big Red's big. He's the biggest one I've seen.
He is notoriously described as the biggest one ever seen in the swamp. The reddish, people say the reddish one.
Now there's a reddish brown one, the one I almost hit. He would be the second biggest.
Yeah.
But still not. Don't compare. And he was big. I thought he was big till I saw that. I
Didn't have no brown drawers moment.
getting kind of anxiety just
I've
thinking
been
about
asked
it now.
that before.
There's foot impressions all down through here. A little bit of somewhat fresh rooting. Like I say, it's not a big pig, but it's been through. Snacking on the way. But there's impressions all down through here, kind of regular.
Yeah.
There's one there, there. It looks like running. I had a track here and I went to Ace to get some stuff
See, there's compression right there too.
to come back and mold it. Yep, from down here, it was good. You could almost see dermal lines in it. But it is no longer. Okay. I'll be done.
That ain't steady. It's just rocking.
Well, there was a hut on the back side of this little clump here. It incorporated some of those at one time. It's straight poles. And, I mean, heck, you can see what almost looks like some claw marks on the side of that tree. Where the bark has been scraped off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's long gone.
Scrape marks, yes. But I used to sit up in this tree, and them deer would come right down, right through here, and I'd pop them when they get right here. Wouldn't have to trail them or nothing. Damn. But it had a bunch of trees. See the 3.5-inch round trees behind?
Bunch of them in it.
That's what it was made from. Bent over, woven in. A couple of them were pulled up, still green with root balls up top.
That's a shame it's gone.
Yeah, it's been too long now.
Yep. That leads me to believe the one back on Jones Cramp Road. Now, if you line this one,
Well, yeah.
but here is the spot. Look at that tree.
Here. And we're right here on that dot right now, I think.
Okay, if you come all the way back down here, or actually right in here. I had some stuff there, but there's a hut right there. Or was a hut there. And for the other hut that was back over, if you line these up,
Mm-hmm.
they're almost in a straight line.
So in order to get that one, you have to go past the structure and go down that little road.
50 to 75 feet off one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Early, after lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And big brush pile was here. And I come around, as I come around that brush pile, it was starting to step out, and I passed within that far of it. Almost hit it.
What time of the day was this again?
Lunchtime.
Lunchtime. Broad freaking daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11:45, 12:50.
Like from the tree over there, sort of. And then it was
Well,
stepping out.
It was down in the ditch, and this was all dirt and sand, and the road almost seemed to go a little bit wider. And I was coming around that kind of fast. I was hugging the low side of the turn,
Yeah.
and then what I call my go-kart, little Chevy Aveo,
Yeah.
stick shift.
Yeah.
And I come flying, and as I come past that big old brush pile, which was bigger than my truck.
You know, I've always wondered where I saw your photo in the report. I always wondered where it was. You know where I thought it was at?
Huh.
I thought you was on the power line road.
Oh, yeah.
And is it okay if I do a pan and
Yeah.
show them the area? Because
Yeah.
I know the exact area is unknown. So it's okay?
I don't care, yeah.
Okay, so the area is it okay to get your truck in it? Okay.
Yeah.
I can always blurb that out maybe, but
I'm not worried.
okay, I'll leave your truck out, but I'll spin around from the other angle. This tree area, I remember seeing the photo, right? So as I spin around, this is the area right here, and I was completely wrong. I thought you were on the power line roadway. That's what I always thought. I thought you was along the roadway on the power lines. This is the main road. This is the main road.
Yeah, but it's right there on the power line.
Yes. And there's the power lines. Wow, I've drove by this area many a times.
And
And this is where he saw it.
it was me and my son, and
Yeah, you had your son with you. Yeah.
he's here. What was that? That's not what I think it was, is
Yeah.
it? And there's a little culvert right up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching in my rearview mirror the whole time, and it still hadn't moved. And I did a 180 in the road, barely slowing down. Spun it around and headed back. When I headed back, it took off. Right, it's behind them trees right there.
So it just bolted into the bush.
Well, this was all about less than knee high. You see that dark green clump back there?
Yeah.
That's where it ran to.
Okay.
And it went from here to back there. I mean, it's closer from here to there, I would think, but that's where it ran to, and it went in that point.
And do you think you could see the head? Was you?
Yeah,
able to-
you could at the
Okay,
time.
so he's taller than the vegetation. The vegetation would be different, but
Yeah, when I saw it, all this was, like I say, less than knee high.
okay.
This was a fresh chop.
So you had full view.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's dense in there. That gets dense.
Yeah.
That's very dense. Anything gets in there, you ain't gonna find it.
But when it got back there and never looked back, ducked in there, last saw it, went on out for lunch.
And that was the brown one, right?
Yeah, that
The
was a big brown one.
Yeah, the brown one.
And
Wow, I was totally off. I thought I thought it was on the actual power line road.
Okay. Now,
Yeah. I felt that it was near this area,
yeah.
but I was thinking power line road. I didn't know that it was on the actual main road. Huh. That's good to know.
And the day before this, we were on South Grade,
Mm-hmm.
down where I'm taking you next.
Okay.
And we can't get back in, or I can't get back in. Y'all can travel at another,
All right. We'll just mark it on the map.
yeah,
Yeah.
another trip. And
And that can also take you back out to 471 too.
at the time it couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
The road I went, it dead ended into a swamp, and it had a Y that went around and dead ended into a pond back there. So at that time it didn't have access to any other roads in or out.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Okay.
one way in, one way out again.
Yeah, this is I recognize the trees in this spot. This is the area where you're in the photo holding the stick up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go to this an area to where he was told a guy abandoned his stand. I have been in this area already, and I am very confident that I know exactly where he's talking about. But it was unbeknownst to me that that's the area that he's talking about. So let me see. I don't think it's much more further. It's eerily quiet. There's not even any bugs. I have been with Beata in here one time, and I don't even hear any cicadas. It's very quiet. That had to have been a bird. There's no bugs. The stand is down here. I bet you that's what you're talking about. So this is the stand that must have been abandoned. And I have been here before. That's where I knew where it was at. I was a little off. Wasn't quite down far enough, but there it is. That's the stand. You're looking at it, what, about 18 feet up? 18 feet up, maybe 20 feet? It's at the very end of the trail because the trail collapses. It doesn't go no further. It just turns into bush.
I'll do home.
Swamp looks different from above.
Camcorder one out behind us, so that way if I fall off y'all can see it. So I'll get a little footage here behind us.